Hey, hey, hey. How y'all doing? Thanks for coming in. Hey, Mike, if you're still here, how you doing? Hey, Jan, if you're still here. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in tonight. How is everybody doing? I'm doing good. I'm a little bit sleepy. I shouldn't be because I took a nap today, but I am a little bit sleepy. But I'm here, and I'm glad you're here too. We got lots of stuff to talk about tonight. Not really, but there's always something to talk about. How you doing, Mike? Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Where's my book? I thought I had a notebook. I know I did. Oh, there it is. Handy. Because I've written some things down to talk about. Hey, guys, this is FRHumphrey. How are you? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you for coming in and spending some time with me. How's your week started out, everybody? Um, it was a good day. Today it was warm, and I don't know if it was warm. No, it was warm. I was gonna say I don't know if it was warmer than normal. I think it's just normal, warm. But I was out for a little bit. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's warm out here. But it was nice for sure. Um, I'm trying to get my thoughts together on the topics I want to talk about. I definitely have a couple things I want to cover. That's on my mind. But first, I went to the Ozark YouTubers homesteaders meetup, which was hosted by Simply Jan Homestead. Simply Jan, let me get it right. And y'all, it was so good. If you guys have an opportunity to attend one of these meetups, you should go. You know, Simply Jan Homestead was the host for it. It was held in Missouri, Richland, Missouri, and it was really good. And like I said, I'm not a big people person. I don't like crowds, but you had the opportunity to spend as much or as little time as you wanted. You know, you could come and go as you wanted. You had your own personal space. You know, there were, you could get your own cabin or you could camp or whatever. And so you could come and go and everything was outside. So, all of the events pretty much were outside. So you weren't like enclosed. Um, Although they had the opportunity to go inside if the weather got bad or whatever, but still you were out in the open, so you didn't feel like you were closed in or anything like that. And everything was so nice, and it was so good to get to meet so many people that you see online, um but that you hadn't met in person. So many good people. And so if you have the opportunity to go, I would say check out the calendar of events and seeing when the next one's coming up. They have them all over the and at different times of the year. So depending on where you live, there may be something coming up in your area soon. And I think I've dropped that link to that calendar before. Let me see if I can pull it up. I might be able to pull it up. I might not be able to pull it up. So we'll see. Um, Bookmark. Um, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, let's see. Like I said, they have them all over, and I cannot see. My eyes are messing with me right now. Like I said, and they're different times of the year. I think Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous is coming up in September. I think that's the next one that's on the calendar. I don't know who the host is for that. Let me go back and check. Let's see. Hosted by Hippie Cow Yay Homestead. And it's going to be in McAllister, Oklahoma. Anyways, I don't know anything about it, but I'll post the link to the website. So if anybody's interested in those, you can check it out. They're posting. I don't know. I'm not even sure who maintains that calendar. But if you want to get an event on there, you can. Um, I don't know how, but you can because I've seen events added to it. So, but anyways, if you have an opportunity to go to a meetup in your area or not in your area, go. And speaking of meetups not in our area, one of the big supporters in the community, her name is Penny, and I'm not going to assign her a last name. I think I know what it is, but I might be making it up. But she's a very big supporter in the community. She's going to be hosting a meetup in Oregon in 2028. So if there's something that you might be interested in, keep your ear out. There will be, I'm sure there'll be plenty of information online about that as time goes on. But you got time to start thinking about and planning for it. Are you going to road trip it? Are you going to fly? And she's planning for a big event, so I think it'll be one that'll be worth going to. I definitely have it penciled in on my calendar. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, let me write that down too. But anyway. Okay. And if you guys have been looking, if you've been watching my channel lately, you'll see that I have dropped in the last day or two several short videos. And those videos have been showing what I've been doing over the last few, excuse me, over the last few days. And also, there's been a little bit of update in my gardening. There's going to be more garden update videos coming up. I've got some that I just haven't dropped yet, but in the next day or two, I'll be dropping a couple of shorts, at least a short every day, and for the next few days, and then maybe a longer video too on that. My my garden, my garden is a mess. I am definitely not um I'm not proud of my garden, but I'm not ashamed of it either. um I just have gotten a kind of a late start with things outside. Actually, I haven't even started really with things outside. So it's not in the best of shape. But I was telling y'all before that I've got a couple of green stalks out there, and I'll show you what's in those. I do have a video of that. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do a voiceover, if I'm just going to show you the film with the birds singing in the background. And let y'all figure it out. Let you figure it out on your own. Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, my garden. I got a kind of a late start on it, and it's not where I want it to be. Excuse me. And I do have quite a few wild blackberries that have tried to take over. That's what this week is going to be doing, is me out there trying to get a handle on those, harvesting the right berries and pulling up the vines and the canes, and trying not to cut myself up on the thorns, because I'm allergic to them. Um, so yeah, that part. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna do an update. In the garden though itself, my peaches and plums have mostly not matured. They were all in full bloom this spring, but then we had a dry spell, and I think that I lost a lot of the fruit. Fruit did set on all of the trees, but as I go out there and look at it now, I'm not seeing any fruit. I'm seeing fruit on the ground. So I think due to the drought, we lost quite a bit of fruit on my fruit trees. And I've got one, two, three, four, five plum trees and a peach tree out there. And yeah, not good. My apple tree bloomed this year, but I only have one apple tree out there. The other two didn't make it from last year because of the heat and the dry at the end of the summer. And so I got to get another apple tree out there as a pollinator for the one I have. It did bloom. I don't know if it's going to set fruit or not. I hope it does, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. It's hanging on. It's surviving. It's thriving. It's looking pretty good. It just needs a pollinator, and so I can take care of that eventually. Um, my pear tree has not done anything since it's been in the ground. I think it's getting ready to go on a wood pile and make room for something else. Either it's not going to produce or it's just not in the right place. And I'm kind of limited in space in my backyard for more trees because, yeah, I've got quite a few trees out there, and there's not a lot of sunlight left for more trees. So we'll see what goes with the pear tree. And then my fig trees are both doing well. I have a Black Mission and a Celeste fig out there. I may root more of the Celeste fig because I've rooted that before, but I gave all of those away. And I may root another one just so I have a second fig out there, a second of that one. Actually, I may root both of them. And so I'll have, at least two of each out there. I don't love figs, but I eat them, and they're just a good fruit to have around. Um, Hello, David Corey. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I was just giving a little bit of a rundown on what's going on in my garden, talking about the fruit trees. I have no citrus. None of my citrus made it from last year. My blueberries, I've finished producing for the year, and I have four, four blueberries in containers that well, I have four blueberries in containers, and three of them produced this, no, five. One, two, three, four, five in containers, and three of the five produced this year. Um, Two of them I need to put them in. Actually, I'm gonna put them in the ground. I'm gonna find a spot and put them in the ground. But they're in small containers. They need to be up potted or either put in the ground. So I'm gonna put. Actually, three of the five are going in the ground this year. Um, the ones that produce, they're going in the ground. If I can find a good spot for them, um, because they're getting too big for their pots, and I don't want them to be root bound or anything like that. And I also don't want them to be struggling for nutrients and water when it starts getting drier, because it's harder to keep those containers, um, you know, harder to keep them up in containers when they get root bound. It's hard to get them the moisture and the nutrients they need. How are you doing, David? Um, how's your week started out? My week's been pretty good. Pretty good. Just got home from the meetup, which was fantastic. I had a wonderful time. It was really good to see so many people. And let's see, I covered my fruit trees. I covered my blueberries. Let me see. Oh, my green stalks. I have two green stalks out there, and I've got two more in the house that need to go out there. Throw in cardboard and more vegetable waste. Throw cardboard and more vegetable waste where? You mean in the holes in the ground? When I get ready to plant those blueberries out? Yeah, I've got plenty of that cardboard and vegetable waste for that. Speaking of vegetable waste, I'm well, even if I wasn't. I would say I hope you are well. I really hope you are well. But yeah, I've got two green stalks. One of them is mostly herbs. It's doing fine. There's mostly perennials in there, but I did drop some more seeds in there in your containers for nutrients. Yes, yes, do that. I am going to do that. Um, I do have some bigger containers, and I was thinking about whether I would just go ahead and upsize them to bigger containers or put them in the ground. But I really want them in the ground because I feel like I can maintain the moisture and nutrients better in the ground than in containers. In containers, you have to be really on top of it, and sometimes I am a lazy gardener, and yeah, I don't do so well with containers, and I have enough containers right now that I'm trying to keep on top of already. I don't want to lose my blueberries because I wasn't on top of it, and that's how I lost my citrus because I just didn't stay on top of it last summer, and it was too hot to ignore them. So there was that. But anyways, that's where we are. Anyways, I was talking about my green stalks. One of them is mostly herbs, which are mostly perennials. But there are a few spots in there I leave for annuals, and so I've dropped some seeds in there. Of course, I'm dropping green beans in both of my green stalks because I love green stalks. um, yeah, it's true. It's hard to for me. It's hard to maintain moisture in containers, and even for me, it's even harder in grow bags. Unless I use a really big grow bag, it's even harder to maintain because they dry out faster than the other containers do. And so, in the summertime, when it may or may not rain for weeks, and you have to water every single day, sometimes twice a day. Sometimes I just don't get out there to water enough for the stuff in the containers. But yeah, and so because of that, I know I'm a lazy gardener. Then I have to do what I have to do, which means I have to put stuff in the ground. Because I can put it in ground and I can mulch it. And then there you go. Mike, do you have green stalks as well or just raised bed? Mike says he doesn't have green stalks because in his area they have feet and when they walk away. And so I'm like, those people, they good if they take them when they're full. Because they're heavy once you fill them up with soil. I replaced all my grow bags with tubs, drilled holes a few inches up. Yeah, that part. Put the holes up a little bit so you have a little reservoir in the bottom for water. That does help with the moisture. And raised beds, yeah. And my beds are not raised beds. I mean, I guess you could call them raised beds. My beds are they just have borders. My beds are in-ground beds because underneath them there's no barrier. So the stuff grows in. I usually only put in probably 3 to 6 inches of soil in those beds. I don't fill those things all the way up. I put some organic material down, like newspapers, cardboard, whatever, down. I put some leaves down, and then I put whatever I'm planting in it because I want that stuff to break down and I want it to go into the roots in the ground because I have decent soil. And so I don't want to spend a whole lot of money buying soil to fill up a bed that, I just need a barrier around it. So when the guys come to mow that they don't cut my garden down so they know where the garden stops. I really don't need, to build up the soil that high, and I don't have them in there for height for me. So yeah, that part. But yeah, I put in the organic matter in there so there's something to break down, but eventually that stuff goes right on down into there. So even my raised bed are really in ground. Um, I forgot what I was saying. See, y'all got me all. Oh, I was going to talk about. Okay, I did. I talked about that. I talked about that. I talked about my green stalks. Oh, the other green stalk that's my annual green stalk, and that one is coming on fine. Y'all gonna see a video of that one. That's gonna show you what's in there. But I've got some peppers and tomatoes and cucumbers and green beans and I don't know other stuff. Whatever stuff is in there. whenever I feel like it. If it starts raining, I'll go outside and drop some seeds in there. move some move some soil around, make sure I fill up the things with soil and put some more seeds in there. And when that one is completely full, it's not completely full. I have one layer on the bottom that's not full, and the top layer is not full. So I have one, two, three, four that are done. 4 layers done. 5, 6, 3, 4, 5. I can't remember. One of them is 5 tiered, and the other one's 7 tiers. So one of them is, so it's not done. It's got 2 tiers that's not done. And one of them has got 1 tier that's not done, and the other. So when those tiers are done, then I'm going to take one of these ones that are in here and put it out there, another one out there, and put it on the patio. And this one is a 3 tier one, so it's a shorter one. So I'm going to get that done probably this week, because I'm probably going to finish all that this week. I have the soil, I have the plants, I have everything I need. I just need to go and put them out in there. And I want to do another layer of cucumbers. I think I've got 1 row of cucumbers. I want another layer of cucumbers out there. I've got 2 rows of green beans. I would need another layer of green beans out there, and then I can put the other one out and put other stuff in there. And that's the other thing too, garden goals. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Gina versus Gina talks about garden with the purpose. And she put out her planner, her gardening planner, which I got one. If you don't have it, you should get you one, because it's a great way to really to document what you're doing, even if you're not planning so much, but to document, what did you plant, when did you plant it, how long did it germinate, did it not germinate, how long it took to germinate, those kinds of things. And so you'll have some notes for next time around. This is a great place to keep those kinds of things. I think it's a 5-year planner or something. It's got a lot. I mean, you can use it for a while and you can look back on your stuff. But garden goals, there's a couple things that I want to do. Welcome in to anybody who I might have missed, who's shown up. Thanks for hanging out with me, coming to have a conversation with me. Please, if you have any questions or topics you want to talk about, just drop them in the chat and I'll try to get to it. But yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about tonight a little bit was garden goals. And like I was saying, Gina's talking about, gardening with purpose. One of my goals is to not have to buy onions from the store, grow enough onions that I don't ever have to buy any, to grow enough garlic that I don't ever have to buy any, to grow enough sweet potatoes that I never have to buy any. Those are my 3 main goals: garlic, onions, and sweet potatoes. Now, everything else that I grow out there is because I like it. Like, I like cucumbers and whatever. I know that I'll have to buy cucumbers because I can't preserve the cucumbers fresh. You eat them fresh while they're fresh, and then you eat hothouse cucumbers. So there's that. I'm not big on tomatoes and peppers. I know a lot of people are. I will grow some if I have the space, the time, or the inclination, and sometimes I don't have any of the above, and so they may or may not be in my garden. But those are the things. And because I want to grow a lot of sweet potatoes, I try to plant enough. I really don't need that many. About 6 slips is enough for me. Because I'm the only one in the family that really eats them. If I did 12 slips, it would be great, because I would eat that many more. But I have way more than that this year, because we went to tour at Baker Creek, and they had sweet potato slips, and they were like, "Oh, just go." They're out there on that table, and you can fill up the tray. Fill up the tray, as many as you can get in the tray. Fill up the tray, and then it's gonna be little. Nothing. It was a little price. I'm not talking prices and stuff on there, but anyway. So I ended up with a big flat of sweet potato slips, and I gave some of them away. My husband is going to take some to the place where he volunteers, because they have a little community garden over there, but I still have way more. So I'm excited for that. I had already planted some um, of my favorite. My favorite is the purple skinned ones that's white on the inside. The Asian sweet potato. That's my favorite one to eat. Um, and if I could grow only one variety, then that's the one I would grow. The one I got, I have no idea what kind it is. All I know is whatever they had on the table. I didn't even write down. They told us what it was. I didn't write it down, so I don't know what kind it is. But I think it's a purple skin one. It may be white inside. It may be purple inside. I don't know. Um, but I'm excited for that. And then I harvested my garlic already. I don't know if I have enough garlic that I won't have to buy any this year, buy any next year. I know I didn't have enough last year because I didn't get a good harvest last year because it rained and my garlic didn't. I didn't get it out before it rained, and so I lost most of my garlic last year. But I did get a decent harvest this year, although it was small. It still is garlic. So I haven't done a video on that, but I have it in the garage curing right now, and so I'll take some pictures of that. I'll do a little video of that. Um, for the garlic. David says, I definitely got the garlic, maybe enough onions, but sweet potatoes. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. It takes more room to grow. For me, it's going to take more room to grow than I have room for right now. But that's my goal. My goal is to eventually grow enough sweet potatoes that I don't have to buy any at all. And I love sweet potatoes. I used to buy, there was a one of my coworkers had a farm over in Georgia, and over in Mississippi. I don't know why I'm thinking Georgia. He had a farm over in Mississippi and he grew sweet potatoes on his farm. I need to call him. Speaking of which, I was just trying to think of a name. I don't know if he's still growing sweet potatoes or not, but I need to call him. But anyways, I would always get a 10-pound box from him. Every year I buy a 10-pound box because I love sweet potatoes. And they keep, and the longer you keep them, the sweeter they get. I don't know. They seem like it to me. So, but I would always buy a 10-pound box of sweet potatoes. And 10 pounds is not a lot of sweet potatoes, really. It is a lot for one person, maybe, not really. But I could eat them every day. Um, in fact, when I grew up, my mom and dad both loved them. We always grew them. And we always had baked sweet potatoes in the house at all times. Like mom had a pan. The only thing that she ever baked in that pan was sweet potatoes. She'd bake a pan of sweet potatoes. She'd put them on the side of the stove, and and then you just walk in and grab a sweet potato. It was a walking snack. you know. It's like in the morning you got ready to go to school. If you didn't want nothing else, you grab a sweet potato and a biscuit because we always had biscuits. Your sweet potato and a biscuit, and that was your breakfast. But yes, I still have several from last fall. I have a few. I think I have three from last year. I think I have three from last year. Um, And that's what I usually do. I usually keep some, usually try to keep some. And so when I need slips, I just use the ones that I have. I'll just stick one, throw one in the garden, and let it start, let it start rooting, and then pull the slips off and plant them like that. And that's why I don't know how many plants I have out there. I'm quite sure I may have a dozen out there already, but I also have a bunch more to put in the ground within the next couple of days. I don't know where. I don't know where I'm gonna put them. I know I'm gonna give some to my neighbor because I just can't. Well, I mean, I could put them. Yeah. Anyways, composting. I guess we're gonna have to talk about composting. But anyways, yeah, we went to visit Baker Creek, and here's the thing. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it honestly. I have never been a big fan of Baker Creek, not for any particular reason. And in fact, I don't think I've ever ordered from them. I mean, I do have Baker Creek seeds that I have traded for over the years that people have given me over the years, but I don't know that I've ever ordered from them. I've just not been a big fan, not for no particular reason. It's not that I don't have any reason for that. But I, when we went to, had the opportunity to go and tour the area, it was nice. It was nice. We met Farmer Frank. If you guys have seen their catalog, there's a picture of Farmer Frank somewhere in the catalog, on the back of the catalog or somewhere. He's a really nice person. He gave us a special tour. He's the one that did the tour for us, and he, told us all the things about Baker Creek. We got to see them, their setup um, where they were taking pictures, some of the pictures from some of the tomatoes. I think I have a video, or I think I have a video that I'm gonna put up of me with a tomato. The lady handed me a tomato, and she handed me a tomato, and I was like, oh, I didn't bite that one. Maybe I just kissed it. It was huge. It was so huge. And the tomatoes are so pretty. They look like I mean, it's like the pictures are real. The pictures are real, real. You look at the seed packets and you go, yeah, there's no way that's real. Those tomatoes looked like those seed packets. They really did. They were so beautiful. Um, I forget which one. There was several of the ones, the dark ones, the dark purple and the dark black ones that that are dark on top and they turn darker as they get riper. And one of those she handed to me, and I was like, "Is this okay to eat?" She was like, "Yeah." She said, "I think it's a little bit green, but." And I did. I ate it right then. It was good. It was a little bit green, but it was good. It had a nice taste to it. I was like, "Yeah, I need to save some of these seeds." But yeah. But anyways, but it was nice to visit to see, where they grow everything, and how they grow things out, and yeah, the different greenhouses and then the outplantings, and they had, lots of interns out there working, getting things done, and oh my goodness, the plants. There was so many plants. Just walking around the area, there were just so many different plants. It's like, oh, what is that? Oh, what is that? Oh, look, is that? Yeah, it was so much fun. And then to be able to do that with other gardeners or other homesteaders, or people who were, who knew what they were looking at. So that was great fun. But it was funny because um, she was going through some of the tomatoes and she was getting ready to take the pictures, and she would come across one that just didn't look right for the thing, and she would just toss it over into the compost pile, and it's like, what, wait. It's like it's it's going in the compost. And it was like, she's like, yeah, it goes in the compost, because it wasn't right for the picture or whatever. It's like, before you do that, could you, like, before you throw another one over there, do you mind if I go over there and pick it up? I was like, "Is it okay if we go over there and pick it up?" It's like, "Sure," I was like, "Okay." But the reason I wanted to talk about composting though is it's not about composting. It was about, what do you do with the food that you harvest that you don't need or you don't use if you have more than you harvest? Have you thought about what do you do with that? And a lot of the stuff that I harvest, if I'm not going to eat it, if I don't get to it to harvest, it, whatever, it ends up in the compost. And that's why I said, let's talk about the compost. For me, it ends up in the compost pile. So either I'm going to eat it, it's going to either feed me now, or it's going to feed my food that's going to feed me later. But it doesn't have to. And that's what I wanted to bring up. It's like, do you guys realize that there are places that you can sell? I don't know how the laws in your state work about with that, but I think it's relatively simple to get a permit to sell, like have a fruit stand or a vegetable stand and sell the things. So you can sell the excess that you have. You can also donate it to several places. And one of the things that who are we talking about? Oh, Gina versus Gina was talking about on her channel. One of the people who has a community had a community garden plot out where she had hers, donated a lot of the food to their church and their church members. And a lot of churches do have um, ministries where they can use fresh fruits and vegetables. So, that's another place where you can donate. Um, that's one place that you can donate the food. Also, food pantries. Not all of them have the capacity to, but some of them have the capacity to take fresh fruits and vegetables like that as well. And I know one of our churches here in town has a food pantry, and they also have a garden. So right, the pantry is like right here, and then you drive up, and there's a parking lot, and right across from the parking lot is a community garden. And so you can they get fresh vegetables from the garden, and they harvest them, and they'll just bring them into the pantry. And the people who come to the pantry can get those fresh vegetables, and they'll take donations too. And so oftentimes during season, they have a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables and things at that food pantry. And then there's another thing too, shelters. You're right. There's several shelters. There's homeless shelters, and there's halfway houses that can take stuff like that. There's women's shelters that can take things like that. And there's youth shelters too. So I mean, whatever your flavor your flavor is, whatever your where your heart leads you is what I'm saying. Where your heart leads you, there's probably some place that can take some of those things that you harvest. And if you're donating to a legit um, charitable organization, a lot of times they'll give you a receipt for it, and you can write it off on your taxes as a charitable donation, and you can ask them for a receipt, and if you ask for a receipt, they'll probably write you out one. Um, or you can take your own receipt and just have them sign it if you want that. I mean, so that's just some options, and those are just some of the things that I was thinking about. What do you do with your excess food? Because here's the deal: I'm a small gardener. I don't grow a lot of food. I don't hardly grow enough to feed me. Literally, we were talking about having a challenge where you had to eat out of your garden for so many days. I don't grow enough to feed me of most things that I grow. I'm trying to change that by limiting the number of things that I grow and growing more of the things that I love. Like I love green beans, so I'm going to plant a lot more green beans this year in whatever space that I have. I want to have garlic and onions and sweet potatoes, so I'm going to grow a lot of garlic and onion and sweet potatoes. I usually have cabbage. I mean, not cabbage. I usually have kale growing all the time. I don't have kale growing right now, but usually I have enough kale growing that when I want kale for a recipe, I can go and get enough leaves of kale or collards or some brassica to fill that in. But a lot of times I don't have that, and so if I wanted to have collards for dinner right now, I'm going to have to go buy some. I don't grow enough food for that, but there are some things that I do grow enough of that I'm going to have an excess of. And what am I going to do with it? Am I going to just grow it and compost it? Well, in some cases, that's what I end up doing. I end up composting it. But, like if my peach tree had produced this year, like it did last year, I would definitely have had peaches to give away. I've given away figs. My neighbors get figs every year because I just have that many. And so, um, when you start talking about growing with a purpose, gardening with a purpose, what is your purpose? And then at some point, right now, I'm growing at a level that I can either use or preserve everything that I grow. But at some point, I'm going to get beyond that, where it's going to be more than I can use or more than I can preserve. And so, what am I going to do with the excess? When I get to that point, I don't want to throw away food. I have, I mean, even if it's going into compost and it's just going to feed, be food, blah, 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 fertilizer for next year's garden. I'd rather it not. I have enough things to go in the compost that food that someone could, survive or thrive off on doesn't, have to be there. So that was my point. I think I beat that horse into the ground. But yeah. But anyways, yeah, Mike, thanks for saying that there's shelters out there that you could donate to as well. Um, the same thing with seeds. I do have an excess of seeds. um, and they don't keep forever. I mean, seeds can keep a long time, but they don't keep forever. And it doesn't make any sense for me to keep seeds I'm not going to use. And so, in the garden community, we are forever trading seeds and giving seeds and that kind of thing. And so, be thoughtful about that. Do you have seeds that you're not going to use, or that you're not going to use right now, or and what can you do with them? um, there are some seeds that I have that I plant just because I know the seeds are getting old, and so I will plant them so that I will have some fresh seeds. I'm planting them to grow more seeds, not to grow the food necessarily, but I haven't planted this in a couple of years. I need to go ahead and plant these because I'm not sure about the viability of the seeds, so I can get some fresh seeds. Are you planning that? Are you planning for that? Because it doesn't make sense to buy seeds that you have when you can grow the seeds. Now, certain things you might not be able to grow the seeds for. You know, certain things you eat the seed. The seed is the fruit. You eat the seed. Um, but on most of the things that we um, grow, you know, having seeds means letting it get ripe or overripe or go to flower or something like that, rather than harvesting it or pulling it out. Sometimes, you're cleaning up your garden, you're pulling things out, rather than letting them go to seed. Let them go to seed so you have some new seed, so you have some fresh seed. Um, Especially if it's something where, if your seed and turn out not to be viable and it's something that you would grow again, um, you'd have to buy it again. You don't want to do that when you can grow your own. So yeah, consider that. Doing some planting every year for seeds. And if you have excess, you can sell them or whatever. Let's see. Did I cover all the topics? I think I covered all the topics that I wanted to cover. I didn't have a lot to cover today, but I had a few things to cover today. And so now we can just talk about anything we want to talk about. Like anything we want to talk about. I'm drinking black tea mixed with hibiscus tea. I just made some regular iced tea, Louisiana tea, and I poured me a glass of tea, and then I put a tea bag, a hibiscus. Y'all seen this before? Tea bag in it. So it's hibiscus now, mixed with regular black tea. But I'm trying to drink more hibiscus tea. I'm hoping I will have sorrel, Jamaican sorrel to harvest to make my own hibiscus tea. Actually, I have some in there I need to use up because I've had it for a minute that I dehydrated. I need to go ahead and use it up, but I also need to grow some more um, to make my own hibiscus tea. But I will buy that passion tea um, when I don't have my if when they have a sale. When it goes on sale, I buy it. I just watch it whenever it goes on sale. I buy some because I like to have it in the house, and it's also easy to carry. Um, at home, I use loose tea all the time, but when I'm traveling, it's nice to have a tea bag, and I don't make tea bags, so I might start making some tea in bags. I don't know. Think about it. I don't know. Does anybody make tea bags? I love those blooming teas. Have you guys tried those blooming teas? It's like they don't taste any different. It's just pretty. Or when you pour the water on it, it opens up and it blooms and looks like a flower. They're real pretty, but it doesn't taste any different. It's just tea. But I think it's amazing how they make those things. Welcome in, welcome in. Anybody who I haven't spoken to already, thanks for coming in and sitting down with me today and joining the conversations. Hello there, Bant 2601 is your first live. Well, thank you for joining in. Hanging out with me tonight. We're just hanging out and chatting on whatever comes on my mind. No, I was gonna tell y'all, Jan outdid herself with the meetup. I think it was very well organized. Um, um, I think she did a really good job of balancing group stuff versus individual time. So people had time to do what they wanted, but they also had time to spend with the group and each other. And then there was so many the giveaways. It was crazy. The giveaways were crazy. The seed swap, there was a good sweet seed swap. They also had a collection table for clothing donations to I can't remember. It's to I don't know, some kind of a mission. Um, they had stuff for the kids, and the kids stuff was cool. And I was upset because I didn't get the kids ticket. I would have rather had the kids ticket than the adult ticket. And don't get me wrong, the adult things were good too, but they had a cool remote control car that has like the fifth wheel on the back, so when it flips up, that wheel can kick it back down. And that thing was so cool. And the little boy who won it, he wouldn't share. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't have shared either. But anyways, I was like, dang it. Okay, Miss Ann. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for spending time with me. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm munching on some cashews. But they had fishing gear for the kids. I'm like, I could use a fishing pole. But anyways, it was cool. It was really cool. And the grand prize was what was that thing called? A scooter, a e-scooter. You know, the ones that have the motor on them? Yeah. Yeah. But there was lots of other stuff. There was, greenhouses and grow bags and raised beds and bird feeders and containers of all kinds and lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Handmade items, lots of handmade items. Lots of t-shirts and a few 3D printed things, which is something I need to do. I need to figure it out. This whole 3D printing thing. I keep saying I'm going to get a 3D printer, but first I got to figure out how it works. I don't even know how things work. But speaking of which, and if anybody is interested in 3D printing, if they know anything about the technology, you don't have one, but you're interested in it, check out your especially if you live in a city, is check out your local library. Because I mean, Hugo Rowe has was saying that her local library has a 3D printer, and for a nominal fee, they allow you to print stuff. And so she printed some, what are those things called, Mike, that you use on your arrow garden where the covers. She printed some covers, but her covers are little Zen men sitting in the position on top of the thing, meditating around your plants and making them grow strong and healthy. Okay, not all of that. That part, yeah, those things, those covers. They're so nice. If you saw my WIG videos, you saw the man sitting there, um, taking up space, being chill, sitting, talking to my plants, helping them grow. And she printed them at her library. But that's funny when but let me get my story straight. And she probably did a video about it. So go over to her channel and check out her videos about it. She was looking for a trellis for something that she was growing in her hydroponic unit, and she was looking at the prices of them, and she was like, "They gonna charge you?" And then she found the pattern to 3D print it, and she went to the library to see how much it was going to cost her to print them, and they were like, "Oh, that'll be $3 or something." I don't know what the price was, but it was, like I said, it was a nominal fee. And she was like, for what they was charging for those things on Etsy, I could have bought a 3D printer. No, not that, but literally, she was able to print the trellis thing that would fit her hydroponic plant that she was growing her hydroponic at the library. Yeah, that part. So, anyways, I I haven't checked to see if our library system here has one. There may be, because we got 6 or 7 libraries. The big library downtown may have one. I know our local one over on this side of town may not have one, but the big one may have one. So check and see. But I like some of the things that I would 3D print. I'm just saying. I paid a lot for 3D printed items. The things that you can buy that are 3D printed, somebody else printing them for you and selling them on Etsy and other places, eBay and other places, can cost you a lot of money. And you might be able to find the the program for that item for free, and then be able to print it at your local library. Um, and at some point, it may be worth it to buy a printer, because you can get a 3D printer for less than $500. Now, is it a good one? I don't know, because I don't know anything about the technology. But tell me, what would you want 3D printed? One of the things that was given away was a 3D printed bee trap. Now, anybody who keeps bees will know what I'm talking about. I don't know nothing about it, but it's a thing that you put in the thing. If you're trying to catch bees, like if you're trying to catch a swarm, you put this thing in there, and you put the bait in there, and you put it in the trap, and you leave it, and then you come back and you take the thing off and you put it on the other side, and then the bees can't come out. And it was 3D printed, and somebody won that um thing. Now I don't know how, where, who, what, where, when, and how that came about, but that might be worth having if you are the kind of person who likes to catch a swarm. Um, and I don't know what those things sell for. But like I say, there are things that I would pay for like those covers for the like the whole covers for the hydroponic unit. I have four, one, two, three, four, five. I don't know. I have several different. I have several units, and none of them are the same. And the whole covers are not the same. Some of them are square, some of them are round, and the round ones are not the same size. And so, yeah, they're not the same size. And so I can go on Amazon and I can find some covers, but I don't know if it's going to fit um, what I have. And so a lot of times rather than use a cover, I just put tape over it. But if I could print some covers that I knew were going to fit, or if I knew somebody who had a printer who could print some covers that I knew was going to fit, I definitely would buy them, you know? 3D printers are useful for a lot of hobbies and crafters, etc. I could see that. I could see that. And I think there's certain items um that there's certain things that they are really very good for that, I don't know. What am I trying to say? I mean, you could make a thing out of wood, but you don't want to make a thing out of wood. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to spend the time and the effort with a nice good quality piece of wood to make certain things. Or you can make a thing out of metal, but why not make it out of that filament instead? Um, when you can 3D print it. And so I can see that that would be, a good option for certain things. And maybe, maybe not good for certain other things, but anyways, I've been thinking about it. Right now I have to make myself a list. I need to find a use for a 3D printer before I get one exactly. Like I said, right now I need to make a list of things that I would make if I had a 3D printer. Because until the list gets long enough of useful things, then it's not worth it for me to get it because I don't need anything else to sit in my house and, you know, just gather dust like my cricket. It's like I got a cricket in there that's just sitting in there gathering dust that I could use to make some things. In fact, I'm going to use that cricket to make some things. Um, that's one. That's yeah. I'll see. I got my notebook. I need to make myself some stickers, and I also need to make some cards. And I have everything that I need to make those. I mean, everything. I have the sticker paper, I have the card stock, I have everything I need. I just need to sit down and come up with the design and get it on the Cricut and print it out. So yes, print them and cut them and call it a day. But that's the kind of thing. It's like, why do I have that in there sitting there gathering dust when I could be using it? And it's the same thing for and hey Darthex, I'm sorry if I didn't speak. And thank you for the comment as well. But yeah, I need to make a list of things that I can make with the 3D printer before I buy one. Um, Although the list doesn't have to be super long, it just has to be something that I really want to make. Oh, it's not the right um it's not the right substrate. Is that the word? Yeah. The filament is not the right thing. I need it to be wood. If it was wood and I can say, oh, I need to make me a bridge for my violin, but I'm just going to have to buy a bridge for my violin. But it would be nice if I could 3D print me one. That would be really nice if I could 3D print a bridge for my violin. Oh my gosh, that would be so nice. But yeah, it's time for a cold one, y'all. It's just water, y'all. Y'all know what I drink. It's just sparkling water. This is grapefruit, I think it is. Sparkling water. And it's not cold because it's been sitting out here longer than I've been sitting out here. Yeah, but it sounded good, didn't it, Mike? It sounded like, ooh, refreshing. It sounded real good, and it doesn't even have any sugar in it. This is my guilty pleasure. It really, these are my guilty pleasure. When I gave up soda long ago. I don't remember how long it's been. It's been a long time. Um, and when I say gave up, I will drink soda every now and again, but it's not something that I bring into my house. It's not something that I normally order. You know, if I'm going out, I'll try to get water. It does not say White Claw. Now look, you know better. It does not. It's just the Aldi's brand. Sparkling water. You are funny. um, but at some point I started drinking the what is it called? Look, LaCroix, the LaCroix waters, sparkling waters, and I drank them for a while, but then it's like, well, the ones at Aldi are cheaper. So I just get the ones at Aldi because they're just they're not flavored or anything. And then I realized that I could go, you know, if I was out at a restaurant that had a bar, I could just get a club soda, and you know they have the and if you get that, you could get it with a cherry or with a twist of lime or whatever garnishes they have, or you know whatever garnishes they have. You just ask for club soda with a garnish and they throw something in there. You have a little bit of flavor in your soda water. um, but you don't have all the sodium and sugar and all the artificial colors and artificial flavors that you would get in a soda, but you still get the fizz. It's like you get the fizz. You get all the enjoyment of having the fizz. And you get to open it up and say, time for a cold one. But yeah, I like the LaCroix, and I will get them on occasion. I still get them. I'll get them if we go to Costco because they have a decent price on them. But um, the ones from Aldi are fine. And sometimes I get the ones that are not even uh, those I get the ones that not it's not even flavored. That's just the club soda. That's you know just the sparkling water. Um, I guess they call it seltzer. Seltzer. I can't say the word up north. In the northern part of the United States, where they call things by special names like pop and seltzer, we just call it club soda or sparkling water. The crotch. Is that a seasoning, I guess? I don't know when I drink it. That's what is that a seasoning? Oh, it's a drink. It's a drink. It's not a drink. Y'all are funny. It's water. It's just water. When you go to Europe, they have sparkling water fountains. And so when you order water, they'll ask you if you want sparkling or flat. And the first time they ask you, you go, "Huh?" Like, "Excuse me? Sparkling or flat?" And I have to think about it to go, "Oh, yeah, mineral, sparkling, that, flat. Y'all take the sparkling." But they even have sparkling water fountains. It's like, okay, you can get your water on the street. And they have water fountains on the street too. In certain countries, they have water fountains on the street. So you walking down the street on a day and you want a nice, refreshing, sparkling water, you just go to the water fountain and fill up your water bottle and call it a day. I was like, wow, must be nice. have public water fountains out in and about where people are walking around. But anywho, these glasses are dirty. Y'all, somebody needs to go get me some new glasses. Y'all, I need new glasses. Somebody want to get me some new glasses? I'll pay for them. All you got to do is take my prescription. I'll send it to you. And go to the place, pick them out, get them made, and come pick me up and take them so they can fit me. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I guess I could do this myself. Water flavored it is not vodka. Dude, it's just oh my word. If first of all, if it was vodka, I would be asleep. Because it would have knocked me out by now. But it is not vodka. Yes, it would have knocked me out. When I'm tired, it doesn't take much to push me over the edge. Honestly, I need to drink some straight water. Get some water that doesn't have bubbles in it or essence of anything in it, just a plain old water. My body needs to be hydrated. That's one of the things I don't like about traveling. Um, it does, I don't know, does something to me. I get dehydrated because I try not to drink too much water because I don't want to stop too often. Um, but then, when you do stop, you try to, drink enough water to get rehydrated. And then the water is different everywhere you go. And so then, you don't want to use the ice and you don't want to drink the local water. You want to get bottled water, but you don't want to get bottled water. Oh, first world problems. For real. For real, first world problems. Redmond electrolytes. I have some Redmond real salt. I carry real salt in my with me all the time. I always have some with me. Um, because you never know what kind of salt people are using. And the stuff that they sell in the store causes more problems. But I have the little bottles that I refill. I can't even turn the label around. There it is, Redmond's real, so you can't really read it anyways. But I carry those. I have a couple of those that I keep in my purse at all times. And then I also have some, I don't think I have one of those on here. Okay, here's another one. Here's another one. I need to fill them up. Both of them look like they're about empty. We got to find out what herbs help with these things. Hey, GT Junior. I got another one too. Electrolyte. I have two other electrolyte mixes that I have. I have one that's drops that I carry with me when I travel. And then I have another one that's I thought I had one on the table, but I don't. That's a powder. Um, I don't like the powdered one because it has stevia in it. So it adds a little sweetness to it. And me and Sweet don't get along. Actually, me and Sweet get along real well. That's the problem. I love it. It loves me. Any kind of sweetness, it just, yeah, does that. But crabgrass tea. I got crabgrass growing in my front yard. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you doing, GT Junior? In the garden planting bare root strawberries. Shut up. Do you know that strawberry season is over? What you talking about? I'm almost sure that the strawberry farm is right up the road from here. There's a strawberry farm, like as the crow flies, it's probably a mile and a half from here. Um, and I don't think they have any more strawberries. I think strawberries are done for real, for real. Crabgrass tea. I tell you what, I'm getting ready to write a letter to my HOA because did I tell you? I know I told y'all because I love to complain about this. Because it's not a real complaint. It's just me being extra because I can. My homeowners association sent me. They didn't send me a letter. They sent my husband an email. Let me get it straight. They sent my husband an email because they don't have my email. They only have his email. That said that there were too many weeds in our grass, and I was like, show me the article. Show me the article. I need to know which article in our bylaws say the percentage of weeds we're allowed to have. I'm not doing it. He's like, I'll deal with it. I'm like, no. They want me to spray chemicals in my yard to get rid of the weeds. I'm like, they're not weeds. That's medicine. That's herbal medicine that I'm growing in my front yard. They're not weeds. Show me the article because I have read it. Shut up, David. Shut up. So I have a guy who cuts my grass. Thank you very much. But you were right. It's one of them days where it had been raining. It had been raining every day for like the past 3 weeks, and so the grass was high, and I saw the guy come in the neighborhood. He drives around and he'll stop in front of your house and he'll take a picture. And I wanted to go out there and smack him upside the head. Why are you taking a picture of somebody's lawn when it's been raining nonstop for the last month? Okay, it was just 3 weeks. Now it's been a month. It's been raining nonstop for the last 6 weeks, and you come here taking pictures of my grass. So I'm like, show me the article. Because if it's not in there, then you can't write me a violation for something that is not in there. And I've read it from cover to cover, and there is no place in there that says the percentage of weeds we're allowed to have. In fact, there's no place in there that says we're allowed that we have to have grass. It just says if you have grass, it has to be a certain height. So okay, I'm gonna get rid of the weeds and the grass. I'm gonna kill it all. We're gonna have dirt. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I wanted to make a video today. I was like, I'm not gonna make a video, but I'll do it on my live stream. Pull the weeds in. I'm not pulling the weeds in. Do you know? First of all, I have two giant oak trees in my front yard. They don't worry about the backyard because I have fence. I have privacy fence, and they're not allowed to go back there. But this is the front yard. But I have two giant oak trees in my front yard, so there's no grass out there because it's too shady for the grass. So only thing that's out there is weeds. So I mean, they're not wrong. That the percentage of weeds to grass is too high. They're not wrong. They are not wrong. But all I'm saying is that there's nowhere in the homeowners association agreement that has anything about it. And so you cannot cite me for something that there's no article related to. That's all I'm saying on the legal side of things. If there's nothing in there that says anything about it, you can't cite me for it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Oh, and I wanted to make a video today. I wanted to make a video saying I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm not going to go that way. I'm not going. I'm not. Because my GPS kept telling me to go the wrong way. I'm coming home, right? Why do I have the GPS on when I'm coming home? I have the GPS on when I'm coming home because it tells me when there's cops and trash and cars on the side of the road and slowdowns and accidents and stuff. So I had it on and it kept saying, turn right, turn right. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to. I'm not. So, Jan, you call me sleepy. You call me sleepy. When I get sleepy, I get silly. That's what I was thinking today as I was driving home. I'm like, I'm not gonna. I'm like 2 turns from home. I'm like, turn the GPS off, woman. It was like, turn here. At a half a mile, turn right. No, I don't want to turn right. I don't want to go a half a mile. I want to turn here. They're not weeds in my yard, Jan. It's medicine. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm telling the homeowners association wants to know about the weeds in my front yard, then that's wild lettuce. It is almost as strong as an opiate if you need pain relief. No, we're not going to do anything about that one. That's dandelion. It has multiple uses, but the root is really powerful. And so, no, we're not going to do anything. And we're not going to do anything with that. We're talking about our front yard, not in my garden. If it was in my garden, that would be different. David Corey, you don't get to apologize for me. This is my channel. I'm allowed to behave any way I want to on my channel. And I'm not on any medication tonight. Thank you very much. I'm just drinking sparkling water. Okay, thank you. What other weeds do I have out there? They're not weeds. That would be purslane. That is a superfood. I was I was going through the yard pointing things out to my husband saying, and that's an herb, and that's an herb, and that's a superfood, and that's a medicine, and that's an herb. These are not weeds. He's like, do you want me to treat it or not? I'm like, not. You're not allowed to spray chemicals on the ground things that I use as medicine or food. And the homeowners association cannot keep me from growing food or medicine in my front yard. They don't get to define what a weed is. Okay, I'm off of that rant, David. Okay. Do I have nettles? I do not have nettle. I have chickweed and henbit, but I don't have dead nettle or regular nettles. Um, I don't know that I have wild lettuce because I cannot identify it. Um, I do know somebody who does have wild lettuce. Who is it? What always gardening? Oh, what's her always? I can't remember what her whole full channel name is, but I know she has wild lettuce. But I am not good at identifying it. And if I do have it, no, it doesn't have seed because it's in my front yard. What I think is wild lettuce in my front yard. Um, what I think is lettuce is in my front yard. It gets mowed on the regular, so it never goes to seed. It grows in your yard, GT. You have it? You have wild lettuce, David? I think it looks like it, but I'm not sure. And I'm just going to tell you, wild lettuce is one that I don't play with. Even if I had it, I wouldn't use it. Yeah, I wouldn't use it because it's addictive. It really does behave in the body like an opiate, and it can be addictive. So if you don't know what you're doing, don't mess with it. Um, and if you want to mess with it, learn about it and figure it out. Um, but yeah, that's one that I don't mess around with it because I don't know how to identify it properly. So I don't know what it is, and yeah, and if I did know how to identify it, I'm not sure I would use it because it can be addictive. And there are lots of plants that are like that. They can be quite toxic if you don't get the dosage right. And that's one of the things that I learned in school, um, which y'all probably don't know. I'm a forester by trade and training, and because of that, I have all of the certifications for um, pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, have all of those certifications. And it's the dose makes the poison, is what I was trying to say. One of the things that I learned is that the dose makes the poison. Even salt and water can kill you if you get too much of it. And yeah, Hey, David Opal, let me get the mail with the seeds, man. Historically, our people use these plants and knew how to use these plants to heal the body. Exactly. And my dad knew how to use them. My dad was an herbalist before the word became popular. And so were my grandmother and her sisters. Um, they were all herbalists, and I grew up drinking tea or chewing roots. Because if something was ails you, they would give you this. They give you a piece of this root and say, chew on this. Or they would give you a drink and say, drink this. Yeah, wild lettuce is not something I know enough about. Yeah, that's where I am with wild lettuce. But I forget what her channel name is. Her name is Teresa. Y'all know who I'm talking about, don't y'all? So what you look? Oh, sorry. Old ways gardening and prepping. Old ways. OldWays. I think that's her. Yes, and her name is Teresa. She knows about wild lettuce, and if you're interested in it, I would contact her. Go to her channel, contact her, and she can tell you about how to identify it, where it may grow. What about I don't know, um, where it may go if you want to try to get plants or whatever. Old ways, and her name is Teresa. But yeah, she knows about it for sure. I'm thinking it's her. I'm almost certain it's her. um, but yeah, Teresa knows a lot of stuff. She knows a lot of stuff. She's been a herbalist for a long time. So it's old ways. Let me drop a link to it. I think I can get it. I think I can. There you go. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? She was in the one of the challenges that you guys did. She was on one of the teams. I can't remember. She was on the team that won. I don't remember. The growing in the bucket team. What is it about? Yeah, yeah. That one. Yeah, that's her channel. Um, but yeah, I think she, and I could be wrong. That's another thing too. My brain has a lot of information in it. It doesn't always allow me access to it. Doesn't always allow me access to the information, but I think she's the person who um it's been years ago was talking about she even might even make tinctures or something from it or something like that. I just remember her talking about wild lettuce at some point. But anyways. So but yeah. See, yeah, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. See, I don't remember what it's been a couple of years because that was the one with the guys when the guys did the challenge. I forgot what it was called. But the guys did the challenge and y'all had the teams and it was Q and Turf and I don't even remember all. She was on one of the teams. The team that won. Yeah, yeah. MIG. It was the MIG one, Men in the Garden. challenge. That's the one. See, I wasn't dreaming. It really happened. So y'all try to make me think I'm crazy. Um, Try to make me think I am. No, it wasn't Shed Wars. It wasn't Shed Wars. It was Men in the Garden. Yeah. Shed Wars made me mad. I remember Shed Wars. Shed Wars made me mad because of what's her name? What's the little girl name? Who's the big girl now? Can I think of her name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Broke hosted it. Yeah, Mike. That's right. It was a Men in the Garden. Broke farmer did. But yeah, I remember Shed Wars. Yeah. And I followed it for a minute until what's her name? What's the little girl's name? The Garden Chicks girls. Whatever it was, that made me mad with that baby. Don't mess with my children. You can mess with me all day long. Don't mess with my kids. You can make me go to jail. Bunky, exactly. With Bunky, the whole thing that happened with Bunky and Shed Wars, I was like, I'm through with y'all. I'm done. Nope, can't do it no more. Can't do it no more. The Vineyard Chicks, exactly. That's my girl. You can't be messing with her like that. Mm-mm. Grown folks with each other, I don't care. Y'all treat each other any kind of way you want to, but don't mess with the kids. So, but that's just me and my own little crazy, my own little corner crazy over here. That's all. My own little crazy corner over here. But yeah, I gotta find out about this. Yeah. No, I didn't do Shed Wars. I just kind of followed a couple of people who were doing it from year to year. And I kind of kept my distance from really I kind of kept my distance from it because it was not something I was interested in doing. I don't weigh and measure like that, you know? It's like I'm not in that. But that year, it's like that's when I stopped even following it. I wouldn't even watch the videos anymore. It's like, yeah, that's not for me. There's places for there are people who are interested in that on the internet, and I'm not one of them. You have to, for me, for my own, the way I say it, for my own personal well-being, for my own sanity, and for my own mental health, I have to have boundaries, and I don't apologize for them. It was so fantastic meeting you this weekend. Thank you for coming. I am glad I came, Jan. I am so glad I came. And, the people on this channel um, heard about it already because I talked about it quite a bit at the beginning. But, I talked about it before I was going. And like I said, to anybody who has never been to a meetup, this was one. This is the one. Definitely should go to a meetup because it was good. It was really good. And it's real. I don't know. It's something about meeting the people in person that you've seen online, and realizing how much we have in common. Um, you know, Sitting around a campfire, having a conversation with good people. That's something that as a kid, I grew up doing that, and so I really miss it. I did. I won some cool prizes. I'm not telling you, David. You should have been there. I got hummingbird feeders and wind chimes and t-shirt and what's the other thing? A nice, really nice bag. And I'm like, there was like several rounds of giveaways, y'all. There wasn't just one thing. There was several rounds of giveaways, and there was lots of stuff. And I got soap. I have soap that Jan made. Um, that's cool. Oh, my Renaissance grandma, I got soap that my Renaissance grandma made. Um, mm. And then there was seeds and okay, whatever. I'm not saying anything else. David, David, did you see the feet pics? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Yep. There was 3 rounds of the giveaway plus the grand prizes. 3 rounds plus the grand prizes. That's right. David, not talking means not typing too. But yeah. And then there was the bingo. They make up rules for bingo. I'm just gonna say I was not allowed to play bingo. That's not true. I didn't play bingo. I was allowed to play. But I wasn't allowed to play bingo because I didn't know the rules. Every time they would start a game, they would call something. They were like, we're going to play bingo this time. And I'm like, what's that? We're going to play bingo this time. I'm like, what's that? We're going to play bingo this time. I thought there was just bingo. I didn't realize that there was all these variations of bingos that you could do all of these things and stuff. I'm like, what? The bingo was, but I was like, what? And they would say, well, I'm like, what is this one? What is this one? What does that mean? Well, how do you know if you win? I think Heather was about as bad as I was too. But anyways, it was fun though. It really was. I had such a good time. And I was telling my kids, my son, my youngest son, he was like, "Where are you, Mama?" And I was like, "I sent you the link." And David, you are so playing with me. Stop playing. And I was like, I sent you the link. He's like, well, what's it like? And I'm like, well, it's like this. Well, send me some pictures. And I'm like sending him pictures of everything. He was like, well, okay. Well, did you have fun? And I was like, yes, sir, I did. I had fun. He said, well, good. It was like he was worried, but he wasn't worried. It was like, I just need to know that you had fun. David, you are playing with me, but you're not going to win if you play with me. That's why I didn't play bingo, because I wanted everybody else to have a chance to win. Because if I play, then I win all the time, and nobody else has a chance. See? But yeah, it was good. And there were some people who I had never met before. There were some people who I had met before. There were some people who I had cruised with to Alaska, so that was kind of fun. So I got to see again, and some people who I've been met at other meetups before. It was cool. It was so cool. I'm trying to think who I was most excited to see. Probably my Renaissance grandma, to be honest. Oh, who are you, the bingo queen? Well, no, I'm not the bingo queen. I didn't play bingo. It was nice meeting you too, Jan. We had so much fun. And y'all, I'm gonna just tell y'all a secret. Don't tell nobody. Jan's phone sounds like a vintage telephone, and she always puts it down and walks away. But it rings constantly, and so it was my job to say, Jan, your phone's ringing. Okay, it wasn't really my job, but I said it every time it rang. I know she got tired of me saying, like, I can hear it, y'all. I know I had never met Vanessa before. So that was one. I was like, oh, I can't wait to meet Miss Vanessa. I can't wait to meet Miss Vanessa. But yeah, I think she was probably the one I was most excited to meet. The other person I was most excited to meet, and there was a lot of people I was excited to meet. But like Rebecca and I had talked on the phone before, but I'd never met her, so that was kind of cool too, to have have talked on the phone before. So that was kind of cool. You could not lose your phone, Jan, because your phone rang every 5 minutes. I was like, Jan, your phone's ringing. It sounds like a house phone, y'all. You know the house phone that used to hang in the kitchen on the wall? You know the house phone. It sounds like a house phone. David, you should have seen Miss Vanessa's tent. It wasn't even a tent. You should have seen Miss Vanessa's living room. She had that thing set up. And her kitchen set up. I was like, she got a whole kitchen over here. So I didn't hear it ringing because I lost it. It was so funny, you guys, when during the giveaway, we were talking so much. They were calling out numbers because they gave out tickets, so everybody got a ticket. It was like door prize giveaway, so everybody got a ticket. They were calling out numbers, and they would call the number 5 times. It's like, we know somebody got the number. We gave the numbers out today. We know you here. You got the number. Where is it? And then it's like, oh, that's me. Because we were talking so much. We were talking so much that we weren't even paying attention to the numbers being called. And it was like, oh, that's me. And then we were talking about the people who were talking so much that they couldn't hear their numbers. And then it would be us talking about it. Oh yeah, LGG is sweet. She really is sweet. And she's coming to Texas. Did she call you? Wait a minute. She was in Dallas. She flew through Dallas. Did she call you? She said she was gonna call you. She said she was gonna call you. She's a mess. She was fun too. She was a lot of fun. It was really good to everybody. It was just so good to see everybody. But yeah, I had never met her in person, so that was good too. That was really nice. We really, yeah, it was good. It was really good. David, why didn't you come? You should have came. You were close. Ish. Ish. LGG is the sweetest little lady as well. I don't know about that little lady part. She's a sweet little lady with a big personality. Yeah, she's a big personality. She was funny too. We had so much fun though. Talking. It was so relaxing. And the weather cooperated. I'm antisocial. Mike, one thing I can say about it, one thing I can actually say about it, I get it. I get it. I really do. Because a lot of people do not believe it and they don't understand it. But a lot of people, um, all right, Jan, thank you for popping in. Um, Thank you for coming into the live tonight, and thank you for hosting a fantastic meetup. You take care and rest easy, my friend. One of the things I would say, Mike, is that a lot of people don't understand it, but a lot of people that are on the YouTube are really introverts or extreme introverts. And it's easier to make a video in your backyard, in your front yard, where you're not in front of the camera, where you're behind the camera, It's easier than it is to get to be to get together with people and spend time face to face with people. But one thing I can say about the meetups that I have found, the ones that I have attended, and I've attended 4, 5. Um, One of the nice things about them is they all the ones that I have attended have been the group size has been large enough that there's enough going on that if one person is not there, it's not like, oh, where's so and so? Um, they're not there. So and so's not here. Is something wrong? Blah 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 blah. There's not that because it's large enough that um, you might be missed, but you're not missed. You know, but also it's small enough that if you're not the kind of person who doesn't like a crowd, the places that they've been held are like out in open spaces where you can be with the group but not in the group. So I don't like being in a tight crowd at all. And so, sitting around a campfire, at night, you're kind of with the group, but you're not with the group, it's close enough that there are people out there, that but they're not so close that they're in your face. And that's the way things were. It was like there were some people outside, there were some people inside. If you wanted to sit in like a group of 2 or 3 people, you could sit in a group of 2 or 3 people. Hey, Auntie Ellen, how are you? I'm glad to see you. But yeah, so that you could come in and out. And it also was such that, like one day I just decided I needed to, I decided I was tired, I needed to take a nap, and so I just went and took a nap. It was like there wasn't something scheduled every single minute of every single day. So there'll be something scheduled. Dinner, for example, dinner. You could come and eat dinner, or you could not. It was your choice. If you wanted to come and throw something on the grill, now the fire was going. You could throw something on the grill. You could sit down. You could eat your dinner, or you could, not. That was that was the scheduled event. Um, Lunch might have been the scheduled event. The giveaway might be the scheduled event. Bingo might be the schedule of it. You could come or not come. You could participate or not participate. But it wasn't like, okay, and then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this. It wasn't boom, 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 boom every minute of every day plan. And so if you wanted to go fishing by yourself, you could go fishing by yourself. If you wanted to go hiking, you could go hiking. If you wanted to stay in your room and chill and watch the game, which I think there was a couple people who did that. You could do that too. And so, yeah, that's the thing that I like about the um the meetup is that there was enough scheduled time that if you wanted to spend time with the group, you could, but there was also enough free time that if you wanted to hang out and do some things on your own, you could. And if you got overwhelming, and to me, sometimes too many people gets overwhelming, there was plenty of places and spaces that you could go be and not be around people. And so, um, but I mean, for some people who are extreme introverts, it may still have been too much. And I get it. I know quite a few people who are like that. And so it still may have been too much, but it was still fun and I enjoyed it. And, if it's something that you can do, that you would do, then it is fun. And I always learn something when I go to these events. I always learn something new. And especially when they're in a state that I haven't spent a lot of time in. Had only been to Missouri once before, and that was in Kansas City. Is that Kansas City, Missouri? Yeah, Kansas City is on a state line, isn't it? Kansas City is on Kansas and Missouri state line. Yeah. But yeah, I'd only been to Missouri once before, and I'd never been. Um, in a wooded situation, in a forest situation in Missouri. And so that was kind of nice to get to see um, some of the, I guess, the Ozarks area. I've been in the Ozarks before, but not in that part. I've been in the Ozarks of wherever the rest of the Ozark range go in. But to be in that area, especially for me, because I'm a forester. What a great meetup. I watched lots of the videos on the TV. Yeah, we had a great time, Auntie. I heard somebody might be coming to see you, and I'm jealous. Because I'm not that close. I'm like, when you going to see Auntie? I want to go. We got to plan a road trip. I got to plan a road trip to Connecticut, y'all. Some way, somehow, I got to figure it out. That's another thing too. Um, I was driving. As I was driving, I was trying to decide: is it time for me to get a new car? My car is a 2014, and it's in pretty good shape. Don't get me wrong; it's in pretty good shape. I try to keep it maintained and everything. But I'm driving down the road and I'm thinking, is it time for me to get a new car? And I'm thinking, do I really like doing road trips anymore? She said, welcome, I'm a great cook. I am not worried about eating. But I'm like, um, because I did the trip in 2 days. And normally I would, a trip like that I would have done in one day. When I went to the crawfish kickback in Houston, which was a longer drive. Yeah, it was a longer drive. I did it in one day. No problem. I did it in one day. And I could have done this trip in one day too, except this trip had the last part of it was in the mountains. And so the roads were, you know how the mountain roads are, where you're going around and around and around and zigzagging and hairpin turns and lots of elevation and all of that. Um, and I didn't want to do that at night. And so instead of doing that at night, I decided I would sleep. Um, that night and then do that the last part in the morning, the following morning. And I'm glad I did that. But I did it in 2 days going and 2 days coming back. And so it was a longer trip than it had to be. Um, but I'm older and I don't care. Same thing when I was coming back, there was a lot of rain and I just got tired of driving in the rain. And it was like, okay, when it gets dark, I'm gonna find some place to sleep because I don't want to drive anymore. I'm just tired. So I did it in 2 trips. And when I was younger, there was nothing. It was nothing for me to do a 12-hour trip, you know, and just hit it and go. But now that I'm older, I don't. When I do something like that, I know I'm going to take more time to do that, and so I want it to yeah, I wanted it to be a relaxing trip, and it was. I really enjoyed the trip itself, the drive itself. Um, the scenery was fantastic. I was like, I need a GoPro so I can attach it to my car so y'all can see what I'm seeing when I'm driving because I don't have a good attachment for my phone to take video while I'm driving because it was beautiful. That would have made some really beautiful video. It's like, you've seen some people who have like drone footage over the mountains and stuff like that. It wouldn't have been that kind of pretty, but it would have been really pretty. So I am not getting a new car. My 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee is less than 50,000 miles and I hate driving. I need a car to visit mom on Sundays. Okay. That's the thing about me. Like I said, my car is a 2014 and I put more miles on my car this weekend than I put on my car in the last 5 years. You know, okay, I should say in the last 2 years because I did do crawfish kickback not last year, but year before last. So that was another long trip in my car. I'm trying to think. The other trips I've made have been shorter trips in my car, so not quite that far. But yeah, but I may not go. I mean, I go to, things here in town only when I have to. Sometimes I don't drive my car at all in a week. Sometimes I don't drive my car at all in a month. So, that part. Wife wants me to make her a smoothie. Okay, Mike, make it a good one though. But yeah, I was thinking about a different car. So, and then not because I like my car. I mean, I drive a cool little car. My car is a 2014 Mini Cooper Countryman. It has a manual transmission. This is what I'm doing, shifting gears. It's a 6 speed, and it's fun to drive. And it's even fun to drive um in the mountains. It was like I got to use all my gears. I'm driving down the highway, go, oh, I get to downshift. Oh, look at this. Look at you, downshifted in the mountains. It's like something I don't get to do quite often in my car, because I'm not going ups and downs. I was like, oh, look, I get to downshift. Driving down the highway. And then it also, the nice thing about that car is, if you've never driven one, you should drive one because they are fun to drive. It's got a low, it feels like it's got a hydraulic in it. I don't think it does, but when you hit a curve, it's like it feels like it settles down on the road and you just cruise. It's like shroom, shroom. So I love my little car. The only thing I don't like about my car is that I have to drive 2 hours to get it serviced. That's the part I don't like about it. But I only have to get it serviced like once a year, so it's not that big of a deal. Um, and then it's an excuse for me to go shopping in Birmingham. So yeah, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. I like frozen fruit in mine. She likes vanilla though. Yeah. I'm not a big smoothie fan. I found that um smoothies, in order for smoothies to be good, they usually have to be sweet. And I don't need the sweet, so I don't do smoothies. Speaking of sweet, I have a banana in there. Somebody put a banana in my bag. It's like, I was like, I didn't have any bananas. How did this banana get in my bag? But yeah, thank you for whoever put the banana in my bag. It's like I love my car, but Arthur doesn't like for me to stick shift anymore. Yeah, that's another thing I've been thinking about too, is because um, with my hip, um, I can still drive fine. I can shift fine. I don't have any problem shifting. But when I drive a long time, getting into and out of the car is like, oh, yeah. And then once I get out of the car, walking is very difficult after being on the road driving for 6 hours, 7 hours. It's like, oh, girl, you should have taken a break in there somewhere. We all want smoothies, Mike. Yes, I'll take one. You can make it any way you want. No coconut, please. But yeah. Auntie Ellen, I might call you this week. I think I have your phone number. Um, I've been going to physical therapy for my arthritis in my hip, and I don't know if it's helping. It's not hurting. I know it's not hurting. Um, I don't know if it's helping with the arthritis, but it's helping with my strength in my legs. And it's definitely helping with my core strength. I can feel it. Oh my goodness, Auntie Ellen, do they have? Where you go for PT? Do they have that board, that balance board that you can stand on and it rocks you either forward or side to side, or sometimes both, depending on which one you have? Oh, that's my favorite one. When my physical therapist said, he said, "Oh, we're gonna do this today," and I was like, "Oh, really? I'm so excited! I've been looking at that. I've been wanting to do that." He looked at me like, he ain't say nothing. I said, "For real?" But it's funny. I do love it, and I like it so much that I want to get me one. I haven't seen the exact one that we have there, so I have to keep looking around because I like that one. because it's not the one on the ball. The one on the ball goes all directions. This is the one that has a roller, has a roll bar in it. So it either goes forward and backwards or side to side, but not all directions at all time. And I like that one because I can do one direction, but the other direction is a whole lot harder. So yeah, it's my drugs. Yes, everything except for water, which is nearby. Yeah. I I've been enjoying my PT, but he's funny because when I walk in, he goes, "So, Miss Humphrey, what's your pain level today?" And it doesn't matter what number I give him, he goes, "We can fix that." And I know that means it's going to be higher number by the time I leave. We can fix that. Uh, everything except for water. Yeah, we don't have water in our PT, but everything else is good. But I have been enjoying that balance. Um, the balance. Now I don't like the step, but I need to get one and work on that more because my balance is really not good. Um, but that's one of the reasons I've been going because I really need to work on my balance and I need to I need to, yeah, balance. I really need to feel more confident on my feet because there are times when, like, even like at the camp, just walking across the camp, there was, up and down. It's just uneven ground. It's not like it was slopes or, any kind of major slopes or anything like that, but it was uneven ground and then with, divots in the ground and rocks here and there. Every single step it was like, ooh, ooh. And it's funny because, having worked a job where walking was what I did, all day, every day, walking was what I did. And to not be stable on my feet it's just odd. It feels odd. And you know, I didn't realize how bad I'd gotten, you know, but I don't go on uneven ground anymore. I walk on, floors and carpet and, concrete or floors. That's it. Just like, I walk across the grass, to go to the mailbox, maybe, but sometimes I walk down the walkway or the driveway. Um, so, and uneven ground can be a challenge. So, yeah. Series 6 BMW manual. Okay. I have lots of equipment at home, but I like my electrical manual deep massage and gym machines. My balance is bad, especially being totally blind in one eye. Yeah. She said totally blonde in one. I got what you meant, totally blind. But I think blonde works there too. That's funny. um, I don't have lots of equipment at home, but I have enough equipment at home to do what I need to do. I don't need another piece of equipment here to work out at home. Only thing I need to work out at home is motivation. I need some motivation. That's the only thing I need to work out at home. um, but I have been doing good since I've been going to PT. I've been doing my exercises at home daily, like I'm supposed to. If he says do this, then I'm gonna do it. Um, you got me. I've got my glasses. I've got old eyes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. When you get older, your eyes don't switch distances as quickly. So, um, looking at the screen, for example, looking at the screen versus reading over there, it is a different focal length, and the muscles in your eyes don't respond quickly. So if I have my glasses on, I can read the screen. But if I have my glasses on, everything else is not in focus. Just what's most in focus is the writing on the screen. But everything else in the room and everything else is not. And so it gets tiring switching from when I'm looking at the screen and the image that I'm seeing is not clear. When I take my glasses off, the image that I'm seeing is clear. But when I look over here at the writing, I can't read the writing. The image is clear, but I can't read the writing. Then I put my glasses back on. I can read the writing, but the image is not. It's like, and the funny thing, I know. The funny thing is I have transitions lenses, so I should be able to find a spot in the glasses that the picture is clear and the writing is clear. There should be some place in there. It never works. That that does not work for me. It's like I need like one contact. I had a coworker who had one contact for reading. Yeah, she could see fine for distance in one eye, and she used the other eye for reading. I'm like, yeah, that's what I need. I need one contact that I can wear so I can read and see the screen at the same time. I understand. She keeps telling me how I'm not as old as her kids. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. But I still have old eyes. That doesn't make my eyes any younger. I don't know why I want to whine and pout today. I am in a mood today. I've been wanting to whine all day long. I don't want it. But yeah. But it doesn't make my eyes any younger. I still have old eyes. And okay, first of all, even when my eyes were younger, I couldn't see. That's the thing. I've had astigmatism my whole life, so I haven't ever been able to see well without the glasses. But I can see better without the glasses than I can with the glasses most of the time now, which is quite frustrating. Um, No, I mean, how old Auntie Ellen? I know how old you are not, Auntie Ellen, and you need to stop trying to perpetrate that that you are old because you are not. You are young, and you are not. We're just not buying it. We don't buy it. Don't buy the lie, y'all. Auntie Ellen is not old. Okay, don't buy the lie. Whatever she's selling over there, don't buy it. She's not old. Okay, okay. Just saying. Just saying. Me, on the other hand, I am old. Although I am not as old in age as she is, I am older in spirit than she is. I have been an old lady my whole life in spirit, whereas she has been young her whole life in spirit. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand the difference, okay? When they said let's go, Auntie Ellen said, and y'all like, she gone already. When they said let's go, I said I'll be taking a nap. I'll be here when you get back. Which one is old and which one is young? Auntie Ellen was driving when they said let's go. I was still taking a nap. They're like, Felicia, you coming? No. I'll be here when you get back. I gotta take a nap. Do you understand? Do y'all understand what I'm saying now? Do you get what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Gigi Jr., you finished planting strawberries? I can't believe you're planting strawberries. I was thinking about planting some strawberries and I said no because the last 2 years I planted strawberries and guess what? I don't have any. I have a 1 year old and a 6 year old training me young. There you go. There you go. I planted the barefoot strawberries in a raised bed. Okay. Did you get raspberries this year, GT Junior? Did you get raspberries this year? I don't know if I can grow raspberries here. I feel like it's too hot for them. It may not be. My yeah. The what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say my hip is bothering me. My leg is trying to cramp up on me sitting here. Just haven't sat here for that little bit. It's like you're gonna have to get up and walk around. It's too not too hot for raspberries if you remember to water them. Yeah, that's the thing. I have a memory. I have an excellent memory. I can't always access it though, but it's there. I do have a memory. My brain holds on to information quite well. I only bought one raspberry plant. It was a black variety. No, GT Junior, you had some. You had some raspberries. I thought they were wild or spreading or something. What was I? Maybe I'm thinking about something else. No, I thought you already had some established. What am I talking about? Y'all trying to make me think I'm crazy again. GT Junior, did your raspberries produce this year? Or is it too early for that? I'm asking you again. I want you to think about the question that I'm asking you before you answer it. Thank you. Y'all trying to make me think I'm losing my mind, but I know you had raspberries established in your yard before, and it's too early. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about what you bought this year. I'm like, he trying to make me think I'm crazy. I'm not talking about what he bought. I'm talking about what he got. He picked raspberries last year, year before that. Okay, all right, calm down. See, y'all making me want to whine. It's not funny. You laughing now, but it's not funny. Making me think I'm crazy. Y'all think that's funny. I don't get that. That's not funny. Y'all don't understand. Sanity is really hard to hold on to. And you think making me think I'm walking the edge and you laughing about it? Oh, Lord. Oh, no. Whew. Mike, you better talk to GT Jr. because he got me over here fanning. He got me over here fanning. I'm calm. It's okay. I made vanilla, hers vanilla, and mine strawberries. And he laughing. He's still laughing. GT Jr., you think you're funny. Okay. Okay. Mm. What kind did you make for me, Mike? You gonna share? What did you put in the vanilla one? What all is in the vanilla one? Because it sounds good. I'm from the South. GT, you know what this means. Let me cool off before I punch you in the throat. That's what this means. I'll share frozen strawberry one. Okay. Okay. You messing with me though. You really messing with me today. How you gonna mess with an old lady like me? Make me think I'm losing my mind. I'm walking a fine line. You pushing me over the edge. Like, oh, she losing her mind. I'm not. I told you my brain holds on to information. I just can't access it all the time. But when I do access it, I know that is good information because I don't store crap up there. I only store the good stuff. That's why I knew that you had established raspberries in your yard. And that's what I was asking about. Okay, I'm gonna calm down now. I use lactose free milk, heavy cream, whey protein, vanilla extract, and a sweetener. Okay, that sounds good. What whey protein do you use? And does it have any kind of aftertaste or is it okay? Mine is the same plus some strawberries. I haven't used whey protein in years. I used to use whey protein back when, y'all remember, y'all remember back in the 90s and the 80s and the 90s. Y'all remember back in the 80s and the 90s, the Atkins diet? That's when I used to use whey protein when I was doing the Atkins diet back in the 90s. I think that's the one I used to buy for my son. Is it the plain one or is it the vanilla one? I used to buy the vanilla one for my son. Um, I think he still uses whey protein on occasion. Um, just cause he does. Um, but yeah, I used to use I don't remember. I used to use a whey one, vanilla one. Um, back then. When I used to do the vanilla one. Okay, yeah. Um, the Atkins diet. I had to buy it though. I had to buy it at the local health food store. Um, they're still in business. Actually, they've expanded, which is amazing. I figured they would have gone out of business by now, but they haven't. Um, but yeah, but I haven't used protein powder in a while, and I don't do protein drinks at all. I try to eat whole food, um, but sometimes I don't get enough protein, and so a supplement like that would be helpful on those days. The real ones, just 1 carb per scoop. Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to use that, and then I would use I remember Atkins. What is a diet? All the males in my family are athletes. Protein plus. Not me anymore. Just thick. Yeah. My I was telling some people about my son. My son, he just eats for fuel. I mean, he there's foods that he likes and stuff, but he rarely eats the same thing every day. And he weighs it all out, and he just knows how much he needs to eat to maintain his body, and that's what he eats. And it's like, man, if I could eat like that, life would be so much easier. But I don't want to eat like that for real, for real. It's like yeah, that part. Oh, I'm not gonna read that out loud, Mike. Mike said, "You a sexy thick auntie." Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I there are times when I wish I had more, that I was more like my son, because he just does it. He eats what his body needs. He exercises when he needs to exercise, and he maintains his body that way. And I mean, he's young now, so things could change when he gets older. But the mindset, I don't think the mindset will change. I think he has the right mindset for it. Um, when I was his age, I was just thankful to have meals. Like I ate whatever I could get to eat, because a lot of times I just didn't have the wherewithal to have meals. Um, I get hangry now. Yeah, I used to eat like that. Now I crave stuff. Yeah. And when I was his age, I was working out a whole lot more. Um, but then, I got a job. I had money and I could afford to eat. And I was still working out more, but I was eating more. And so, of course, I gained weight. Um, I was a gym rat back then, too. So I worked out quite a lot. Um, and I could eat quite a lot because I was working out 7 days a week um, when I was his age. But things change when you get a job and you have regular money. You can afford regular food. You know, food on the regular. Um, you can afford to eat what you want when you want. Yeah, things do change. I'll be like, "Oh, I need a donut." I didn't need a donut, but I've always had a sweet tooth. That is for sure. That um, that's part of my genetics. I got that honest from my dad. um, always had a sweet tooth. Always wanted. Felt like the meal was not complete without dessert. If I didn't have something sweet with my meal or after my meal, I just didn't feel like I had a complete meal without dessert. That was a thing. And I'm still that way to a certain degree, but I'm trying to get better about it. I'm trying to change my mindset about that anyway. Used to not care about carbs. Yeah, I didn't care anything about any of those macros. I didn't care about any of them. You, food was good. My 55-year-old son just did 5 mile swim and 30 days to race for the big C. My son does not allow me to post anything on social media where my hips and legs are showing. Oh my goodness. I okay. I grew up with people like that in my life. In fact, this shirt right here is a little bit too low for my cousin. My cousin I grew up with, he would have read me the riot act about this because it's a V. I wasn't allowed to wear V necks. I could only wear crew necks. Um, for years and years and years, I didn't. I mean, I was grown. I was probably in my 40s before I started wearing V necks and sleeveless things like y'all see me wear a tank or a sleeveless top with my arms out. Yeah, I couldn't wear those either. Or short pants, or a skirt that was above the knees. Yeah, all those kinds of things. Yeah, my son also has a black belt in Coperia and a CNC license. His arms look like my legs. Yeah. I wish I had gotten my black belt. I never did. I wish I had stuck around long enough to get my black belt. Um, but the first time around, I hurt. I got hurt. I hurt my knee, and I was in college, and I was like, it doesn't make sense for a forester to not be able to walk in the woods, and you can't walk on crutches in the woods. Been there, tried that. It doesn't work. So I did pretty much stop training um, after that injury. I wasn't about to give up my career for a hobby. And then the second time around, the last test I did, we had a board break with my hand, and I know better. I knew not to, that board breaking with my hand was not something that I should be doing. And even though it was testing, I should have just bowed out of it. But yeah, I after that, it's like I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to risk, breaking bones. I didn't break my wrist, but yeah, it was a pretty bad sprain, and I was like, I can't do it, and so I I pretty much backed out after that. But I don't want to be. Yeah, I wish I had gotten my black belt, but I'm okay with not getting it at the cost of more injuries, and that's where I was. I was at the point where yeah, I was a little bit reckless, and taking some chances that I shouldn't have been taking, and I was risking more injury. And it's like, no, I can't do this. And so yeah, but I still learned a lot, and 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 I do miss martial arts. I really do. I was in Taekwondo. I did Taekwondo and karate. Um, and Taekwondo was the one I loved. Karate was the one um, I did it for a grade. Um, but I did, I took the class for the grade. But I love Taekwondo, and that's something that I felt like I could probably do my whole life. But now I'm sitting here right now thinking that Taekwondo is probably why my hip is the way it is right now. It's probably why I'm having hip pain today. And so it's like, I loved it, but it didn't love me. Didn't love me back. And it's so funny because I look at I think back on some of the people who were in the classes with me. Then I think one of the young men that I was in class with when I was in college, I think he eventually opened his own studio. And I think they're pretty big in North Carolina right now. I'd really love to go and see what he's up to. Actually, he's probably retired now, but see what his students are up to, because I think they've done really well um, on the national competition side of things. My grandson's also a pro golfer. Great grandson, a basketballer. They are not like me now. Yeah. I'm sure you will catch up in your garden and get stuff planted. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think back on that and some of the people that I was in classes with, that we competed together and stuff, and some of them are really good. Um, I look back on my kids, some of the things that they did, and it's like when I was in Taekwondo with my kids as well, um, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and it was good for them. It was really good for them. Just the discipline of it. I'm working on planting 4 new. Woo! Look at you, 4 new beds. That's a lot. um, I've got one that I'm gonna finish tomorrow. I'm gonna finish it out with sweet potatoes, and then I've got 2 more that I'm gonna work on getting the weeds out of, because I got enough sweet potatoes to fill up those 2 as well, which is crazy. But yeah, y'all, I think I'm gonna have to um, shut it down here because I'm getting tired. Um, I'm getting tired. Y'all see me? I'm rocking. I need dirt and compost. I've got plenty of soil. I shouldn't say plenty. I've got several bags of soil. And I've got plenty of compost. I need to get in my compost bin and turn my compost because I haven't turned it this year. This year, yeah. So everything on the bottom is pure finished compost, and I need to turn it so I can get the stuff off the bottom. But yeah, started hydroponic strawberries. Somebody was gonna. Who was it? Somebody was gonna start the alpine strawberries in hydroponic. I planted a tomato today. I need to find out what kind of a tomato that was. Is it the ananas noir? I think it's the ananas noir. Noir. I need to look it up to see if that's the one. Ananas. I need to look it up to see if that is the one. I think it is. Maybe it's not. Can we see a picture of it, please? No, that's not it. That's not it. Anyways, I gotta figure. Oh, really, Mike? 20 bare roots? Yeah. Help when I go to my community garden, except when I water. have to help. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that's the one. Let me see if I have a picture of it. I gotta figure out what kind of tomato that was. It's purple and yellow. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's that one right there. Stop. 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 This one. Y'all see that? I can't show it. It doesn't can't show a good picture of a picture. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Can y'all see that? Let me see if I can get the other one. It's pretty. Yeah, let me see if I can get that. Yeah, maybe you can see this one. Can you see this? There you go. I'm not sure what variety that one is, but I got some seeds from it too. I thought it might be, I don't know, it's purple and gold. I don't know. It's pretty. It was pretty. And the lady just handed it to me. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's the one right there. It's the row. The whole row. Hang on a second. That's not it. That's not it. That one right there. Roll ROLLOISE. ROLLOISE. Can you say that name? That's what it looks like when you, yeah. Yeah, that's it right there. That's it. That's the one. It's gold on the inside and it's purple on the top. It's real pretty. And it's called the Sart Rolois. Sart Rolois. Sart Rolois. I'm trying to say it. But anyways, um, I got that. And I said the Carolina white strawberries, aka pine berries, are good to grow because the critters won't eat them. Oh, why? They don't think they're ripe? Probably because they don't think they're ripe, and so they won't mess with them. But the slugs won't eat them, because that's the problem that I have with strawberries. I have to get them up off the ground, or the slugs will eat them. I have a bad slug problem. S-A-R-T, Sart Rollo East. Sart Rollo East. Send me a seed once you grow a bunch. Well, I got some seeds out of that tomato. Um, I was not gonna not get seeds out of it. So I did get some seeds out of it. And so I have to um yeah, dry them. But once I have them dried, I can send you some. Like, I don't know if they're viable or not, but I can send you some. But I also dropped some in the hydroponic unit too, because if it will germinate, I'll grow it this year. And I won't grow it in hydroponic. I'll transfer it outside. Send Mike seeds. There you go. Slugs here too. Slugs haven't invaded my green stalk yet. Yeah, so far no slugs in my green stalk yet. But anyways, I joined the tomato plus cucumber challenges. I haven't even put them in the ground yet. Hydroponics. Okay. I did not join the tomato or the cucumber challenge, but I'm growing. My cucumbers in the hydroponics are not doing much at all. They are still alive, but they're not. And they do have flowers on them, but the flowers are aborting. They're not setting any plants or anything. And I can't tell if they are all male flowers or male female flowers or whatever. So that part. But they're still there. And she said I joined the talk trash. See, that's Auntie Ellen. Right. Um, but the ones outside are doing good. And I do have some tomatoes outside as well. And I did plant some more tomatoes. I dropped some more tomato seeds in the hydroponic. And so I do have a couple more plants in there. And I'm going to drop some more because those plants that are in there are not doing that great. But I'm going to do it. My watermelon let me down. Yeah. So, but anyways, y'all, I'm going to have to get off of here. Yeah. I'm over here rocking to beat the band because I'm not trying. Yeah, but anyways, but thank y'all, everybody who came in tonight to hang out with me, to have a conversation with me, and you know, I hope that some of the things that we talked about was helpful or meaningful to you in some way. And if not, give me some new topics, some new things to talk about, and we can talk about that too. This channel's for us. It's it can be whatever we make it to be, and we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. So just let me know how that goes, and I will see you guys around the YouTube streets. So, yeah, we nearly got 3 hours. You got that. All right, y'all. See you later. Bye now.